tonight I'm making prosciutto wrapped chicken with pasta and lemon Parmesan cream sauce. And I actually already have our water boiling right here for the pasta. I just have some thin spaghetti tonight that I already snapped in half. So I'm going to pour that into our boiling water, and I just put a little bit of freshly ground sea salt in there to add a little bit to the water, and that'll help season our pasta as it cooks. And I'm not cooking a ton of pasta tonight. If I had more in here and the pot was more full, then I might add a little bit of olive oil to keep it from sticking. But there should be plenty of room for the pasta to cook without sticking to each other or to the bottom of the pan right now. Alright, so I'm going to let that come back up to a boil and then let that cook for maybe about 6 minutes. The thin spaghetti doesn't take super long to cook. And I already have some olive oil in my pan over here. I'm going to turn this on to medium and just start to heat up. I might have mentioned this before, but when you're shopping for olive oil, it's good to look for the pick date, the expiration date, and the lot date. And olive oils where you can see that information are usually more pure and less likely to be adulterated. So knowing when and where it was picked, country of origin at, and when and the lot, it results in a more pure olive oil. Alright, so I have our chicken over here, and I went ahead and set some prosciutto to the side. So that's all set. I'm going to put a little bit of sea salt on our chicken. And then I'm going to wrap it with the prosciutto. And I went ahead and pulled out both pieces of prosciutto, so I didn't have to worry about going back and forth to the stack of prosciutto and contaminating it with raw chicken juice. Sometimes if I'm doing more than a couple pieces of chicken or want to use multiple slices of prosciutto, I get Dane in here to be my sous chef, and he'll hand me prosciutto while my hands are covered in chicken. Alright, so that's all set. So pretty simple on the chicken. And it looks like our olive oil is heating up over here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this and transfer it over. Oh, yep, it's sizzling, so that's perfect. All right. Okay, and I'm going to let that cook about 5 minutes on each side. I'm going to set our chicken plate down and wash my hands real quick. So the chicken's going along, so let's see. We're going to let that go about to about 826 on the chicken. Okay. And then we'll flip it. I'm going to give the pasta a quick stir. The James went to bed early tonight. He had an early dinner and went to bed early, and so we're just kind of getting things going for ourselves so we can have a nice adult dinner, just the two of us. We had a very busy week last week, and then a super busy weekend, although we had a lot of fun. My parents were in town, and they played with James a lot. We got to go see a comedy show. Jean Robertson is hilarious if y'all ever get a chance to go see her. She turned 75 on Friday, so she's been doing this for quite a while, but she's an Auburn alum and just, has a lot of good, clean humor, so we really enjoyed her show. And then a couple of our friends are getting married in October, and we got to go to a wedding shower of theirs last night. So Matt and Kelsey, we really enjoyed seeing you and getting to visit with you, and are so excited to see y'all get married in October. Alright, so the olive oil is splashing up a little here. So I'm actually going to turn this down to just below medium. So it's probably plenty hot at this point. We don't want to blacken the chicken or the prosciutto. So we're going to let that keep going. Over here, I already prepped some of our lemons. So I've used a whole lemon here, and then I also shredded the lemon zest. The lemon zest is a really great way to harvest some of that lemon flavor, all of those nice oils. It's really aromatic, adds a punch of lemon without having that sourness to it necessarily that you usually associate with lemon. I think it's a little bit tart. You don't get that really sour that you do with the lemon juice. And then of course, if you're, watching, your carbs or anything for any reason, this is completely sugar-free, carb-free, and all of that with the lemon zest. So that's a great way to add flavor to what you're cooking. All right, so the pasta will probably be done pretty soon. Maybe just another minute on that. I'm going to test it. Maybe just another minute or so on the pasta. That's coming along great. You want it to be just cooked al dente or kind of to the tooth, where it gives when you bite into it, but there's just a little bit of resistance, but not much. I really love cooking with lemon. I love the smell and the taste. That was one of the few things I really craved when I was pregnant. Jane got tired of lemon everything for a few months, but for some reason that was my thing. I craved lemon and fruit and pizza, and I still really love lemon and cooking with it. The lemon and basil are a couple of my favorite scents in the kitchen when I'm cooking. Alright, and the chicken will be about ready to turn soon. I'm going to go ahead and grab a fork for that. Test it again. Whoops. Yes, that's definitely getting there. I'm about to pour that out in just another minute probably. Probably about the same time I turn the chicken. As you can see, I'm sporting one of my new aprons. I got Harry Potter aprons at Williams and Sonoma. Just love all the Harry Potter stuff. But having new aprons has just been great for all the cooking I do in the kitchen. I feel like I'm always in the kitchen, and James is my sweet little helper. And that kind of keeps my clothes from getting so dirty, especially when I'm baking and flour goes everywhere. Flour and powdered sugar are the messiest. So this really saves my clothes from getting flour, and tomato sauce is another one for sure that can get super messy. When that splashes up, tomato definitely stains. Alright, so I'm going to turn off our eye here for the pasta, and I'm going to flip our chicken. Alright, that looks good. So the prosciutto is getting nice and crusty, and the chicken's nice and brown. Just be careful when you're flipping it that the oil doesn't pop you. Okay. All right, that's looking really good. So another 5 minutes for that, and I'm going to grab a pot holder and just go ahead and drain our pasta in the sink here. Okay, yeah, I just left the colander in the sink so that we can drain our spaghetti. Alright, and I'm going to leave that setting there for just a minute and move this pot back over to the stove. And I just have some half and half here. I like using half and half over cream or heavy cream. It's a little bit lighter, but it's a lot richer and better for making sauces than milk, even if you use whole milk. So I'm just going to coat the bottom of our pan there. There's, I don't know, probably about 1/4 of an inch maybe in the pan. And I'm going to turn this back up to medium. It's going to be really good. And I'm going to add about half of our lemon juice here. I'm going to save the rest to deglaze the chicken patty. I also have some Parmesan cheese, and I'm actually not even going to add any salt to our sauce because Parmesan cheese will add a salty enough bite to the sauce. So I'm going to go ahead and pour in some cheese. Okay, we'll start with that. And then mix this in really well. We really want the Parmesan to dissolve and get incorporated in there. This will be a nice, rich, creamy sauce with some nuttiness and salt from the Parmesan. But I love adding the lemon because that just almost cuts through the richness to lighten it up and It just gives a pop, a burst of fresh, bright flavor to the sauce. And the lemon and the Parmesan both go really well with the prosciutto, which is also salty, but more of a meaty, kind of umami taste to it. All right. And we just want to bring this to a simmer and get it to really thicken up. And with the Parmesan in it, this does need a good bit of stirring. We don't want it to clump up. But it shouldn't take very long. That's why it has. I'm actually going to add just a little more Parmesan since I'm kind of eyeballing it. All right. And then maybe I added about 1/4 of a cup total, something like that. Maybe 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup of Parmesan, I'm just guessing. And a half of the lemon's worth of juice. And our chicken is almost done. Maybe another minute or two on the chicken, and that will be all set. I'm also going to add some of our lemon zest. I reserved a little bit to garnish on the top. It smells so good. I can definitely smell all of the rich fried oils coming from that lemon zest. That gives it a nice pop of color too when you can kind of see the lemon zest in the sauce. Okay, that's coming to a simmer and it's thickening up. So what we want the sauce to do, see if it'll do it yet. I'm going to turn this down to low now that we have a nice simmer going on. So if you want the sauce to coat the back of the spoon, and then when you run your finger through it, kind of make a nice little line like that to where it's thick enough to where it'll stay separated and it won't all run together. So this is actually probably quite perfect on our sauce, and I'm going to turn the eye off now. And I'm going to grab our spaghetti and throw it into our pot. I always like to try to make my sauce in the same pot that I make my pasta in because it saves on dishes. So I know my husband appreciates that. I do most of the cooking, but he's great and helps with a lot of the cleaning up. But the less pans you have to clean, the better. So try to maximize that. All right, so this is coating the pasta nicely. It was just enough pasta and just enough sauce. And I'm going to leave this for the moment and turn off the eye on our chicken. That should be definitely cooked through by now. All right, I'm going to grab a couple of plates real quick. I'm going to start with one. I'm going to put some of the spaghetti with the Parmesan lemon cream sauce on here. Alright, and I'm going to grab one of our pieces of chicken. That looks great. And I'll go ahead and reserve this piece of chicken. I already turned the eye off on the chicken. So what I'm going to do is take the rest of the lemon juice I had. It's probably, I don't know, maybe about, it's at least 1/4, maybe 1/3 of a cup, 1/3 of the lemon's worth of juice. And I'm just going to deglaze our pan right there to make a nice little sauce. And then I'm going to pour a little of that on top of our chicken. And then save the rest for the second plate. And then bring in add a little bit of our remaining lemon zest on the top as a nice pretty garnish. And then all I have to do is add a side salad of arugula, and I'm going to put my homemade balsamic dressing on that, and it's all set. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I can't wait to dig into it with my husband. Bon appetit and talk to you soon.